following is a presentation of the National Sim Racing League of America. Enjoy the race. Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 23 in season number 4 of the NRLOA Turkey Hill Series. We are here at the Watkins Glen International, but it's not the track you're used to seeing in real life. It is the 3.4 mile full version of the course where we skip the chicane as well, so it's definitely a lot different than what you're used to seeing, but it's definitely the best road course we go to on the circuit here on Napa Fan. You saw the Indy Lights race yesterday, saw the IndyCar race earlier. You know this place is definitely very exciting. And I'm alongside Jesse Turner, the first ever winner on Napa Fan once again. Hometown hero here at Watkins Glen, New York. You know this place probably better than I do, so give us your take on this racetrack. What do you think we're going to see in terms of style and in terms of action in today's event?
I agree. We'll probably see a good mixture of things. I mean, definitely the drivers. This has proved to be a very intense racetrack in the past. Turn 7 has been a key area where we see drivers make mistakes and overshoot that turn, and that could cost them dearly when it doesn't need to happen for them. But it's awesome to be back here up in Watkins Glen, a very beautiful, scenic racetrack just below the base of Seneca Lake in Shiloh County. The fans are treated to a good, beautiful show here today. There's lots of tourist stops in Watkins Glen and lots to see around here, and especially for the drivers, they can't sightsee for too long as they got to focus on hitting their marks and try and play everything as conservative as possible. And of course, they're going to go around the long boot of the racetrack, the long section, so the fuel is going to burn off sooner, so the pit strategy can definitely come into play today. So a lot can happen here.
And a lot of crazy things do happen here at the Watkins Glen International, especially this version of the road course. And the past 2 times we've come here in the Turkey Hill Series, it has been very crazy. The dominant guy of the race has never won this race before. Back in season number 2, the first time we came here, had 5 cars battling for the win, and coming to 2 laps to go, the top 4 wrecked. And 5th place, Max Newworth, won the inaugural Lake Effect Ice Cream 200. Season number 3, Nathan Stapleton was a dominant guy of the race. His teammate Reagan Whitlock had a wreck earlier on, and he was massively slow on the racetrack. It was right here off of turn number 3. He was slow, and Stapleton ran right into him, leading the win over to, I believe it was Richard Kinghart, grabbing the victory that day. And a lot of guys looking to get their first ever victory at Watkins Glen. None of the past winners of this event are in the event here today, so they're all going for their first Turkey Hill Series victory at Watkins Glen here today. And so they line up in the point standings coming into this race as well. I mean, we're closing in on the finale. Only 6 races remain here in the Turkey Hill Series. And it's go time for this championship. Sebastian Kukulon, who started the season off as the winner at Daytona, 551 points towards the championship for him. Nick Smith is 23 points behind. Ryan Madden, our pole sitter for today's event, by the way, is 28 points behind. Alex Bogsinor is now 30 behind. He was the points leader heading into Chicagoland. Now 30 points behind Sebastian Kukulon, and Isaac Redmond 34 points behind coming into today's event. Ryan Madden and Colton Yo on the front row, Trey Wright and Nathan Baird in row number 2. Nathan Faded and Micah Knapp in row number 3 right there. Row number 4 sees the number 97, the Dover winner of Ryan Kendall. That's his only top 10 of the season, by the way. He'd like to get another top 10 here at Watkins Glen. He's alongside Jamie Lee. Then the number 0, last time you were in the booth, it was Nicholas Wade in Victory Lane. He's alongside Christian Master in row number 5. I'm going to let you take the beginning of this race for me because this one definitely a special place for you, and you know how to call it pretty well at the Watkins Glen International. So Ryan Madden, Colton Yo, take it away, Jesse. Let's see what happens here at Watkins Glen.
All right, sounds good to me, man. Well, a lot of New York flair here. Western New York sponsor sponsoring the race in Lake Effect Ice Cream. There goes Ryan Madden and Colton Yo, and we are underway here from the Glen. Oh, Madden took turn 1 very, very conservatively and possibly jammed the brakes on sooner than he would have liked. There goes the 98 Ford of Colton Yo out to the lead with Nathan Baird in the 44, who had a terrible outing at Chicagoland last time. He's in second. Micah Knapp in the 2, sliding into third, and just for these drivers to negotiate those S's as carefully as possible because that can be a wild section sometimes as well. And this version will go past the bus stop. Baird all over the rear tailgate of that 98 of Yo. He'll try and make an effort to go down on the low side of him. But now here we go to the rare section of the course, the boot. Baird goes a little wide, and Colton Yo preserves the lead.
A great run there for the number 98 of Colton Yo. Ryan Madden had that inside in turn 1, and lots of times those guys brake check it entering the corner. And we saw that happen to Madden. He fell back to 4th because of that slight hiccup on the first corner. But still, it's a 12-lap race. In past seasons, this race has been 9 laps long. There will be pit stops today, however, so that's a new factor these guys have never seen before at Watkins Glen. It's coming down the pit lane. Micah Knapp to the inside of Nathan Baird as they exit the boot. Baird checked up there. And the next to last corner of the boot. You know, I just realized if you combine turn and corner, you get Turner. How about that? But they're side by side for second. Micah Knapp on the outside exiting the final turn. That's not where you want to be. Colton Yo's in the outside wall. And here comes Nathan Baird to the inside for the lead. The 98 will lead lap number 1 here at Watkins Glen, but barely. Here comes the 44.
Wow, just like I predicted, again, that very final turn, we seen overshooting of that turn by drivers in the past, and it happened again with the 98. Nearly cost him a bunch there.
And it nearly cost Micah Knapp the race as well, but he remains in the 3rd position, right behind the 44. Trey Wright is up to the 4th position, and Ryan Madden is battling with Jamie Lee for the 5th position as they go side by side down the backstretch, entering the carousel. This is definitely one of the best places to make a pass here on the racetrack, and it looks like Madden will get the inside on the number 11.
You do have to applaud Micah Knapp for trying to attempt the pass on Nathan Baird. He definitely had a good run coming out of the boot, and he had that inside advantage coming onto the second to last turn. It wasn't meant to be as he overshot and spanked the wall, or the Armco technically. He's the signature blue Armco here around the Watkins Glen International Road Course. But Yo, trying to drive as comfortably as he can, and hopefully he doesn't make that same mistake as he did the last corner out.
Yeah, you see the damage to his race car on the left side of that number 98 as he overshot that final corner. We saw that a lot in the IndyCar race earlier today. We're not going to see it as much in the stock cars. They do go a lot slower, but still, they get very loose off of turn number 7, NASCAR turn 7, I should say, even though it's not technically turn 7, considering we do drive the full version of the course, but definitely a treacherous spot on the racetrack. Yo's going to avoid that outside wall. Micah Knapp almost hits it. We'll see if anybody behind hits the outside. Looks like Tyson Conway scraped it just a little bit, but other than that, everybody and Griffin Lynn, a bit of damage there, but everybody getting away with it, and everybody's still in this thing as well. All 40 drivers still out there on the racetrack, so everybody's still with a chance at winning. I don't really think 40th place Mark Davidson's going to get this win, but they're all still in it, and nobody's gotten knocked out yet, which is good. We don't have any cautions turned on here at Watkins Glen, and we never do on the road courses. So we had hoped they won't crash here today, but we've seen some pretty big ones in this race in prior years, and don't rule out another big accident here today in the Lake Effect Ice Cream 200. Nathan Baird all over the back bumper of the 98 for the lead. And Baird's going to try to get it on the 98 here, but he's just not close enough to do it as they enter the boot on the third lap of the race.
And going back to what you said about, big moments and big, a turn of events here at the Glen. Again, I remember the race I was in at Season 3. Nathan Stapleton, he had an issue, and he clobbered with the leader at the time. But it was Jordan Newman who ended up sneaking through there, and I barely snuck through there as well, and I ended up finishing runner-up to him. So if everybody is still tight after these pit stops, and the impatience ramps up amongst these drivers, and we could see some aggression out of them, especially going into risky places such as the S's.
You're definitely right, and thank you for reminding me that it was, in fact, Jordan Newman the winner of that race in season number 3. Richard Kingart still won that weekend at Watkins Glen in the Kubota DG Championship, and to the point, Nathan Baird, he got to the inside, he closed right up on Colton Yeo and shot Colton Yeo to the outside, and now Nathan Baird leads the field here at Watkins Glen. Micah Knapp for second on the 98 as they enter turn number 1.
That second time that Yo smacked that wall proved to be big-time costly, as the 44 trying to get a good recovery going from his outing at Chicagoland, where he had multiple issues and a lot of damage. So he's in the best shape possible here. And a few other drivers I noticed overshot the final corner and lost some spots there, as the field is more congested behind these top runners.
They are, and Nathan Baird, he overshot the 98 into the outside wall, and that opened up a pretty big gap between first and second, so that's good news for Nathan Baird. He's got this lead ahead of everybody. Colton Yeo is able to stay in second with Micah Knapp, Ryan Madden, and Trey Wright, the top 5. There is Jamie Lee. Side by side between Ryan Kendall and Nathan Faden. Here comes the 23 Christian Master trying to get around Angel Olvera, and that is the current top 10 running order here at Watkins Glen. Nathan Baird holds on. Colton Yeo trying to close back in. We'll have at least one set of pit stops in today's race, possibly 2. It's going to be interesting to see where that second pit stop might fall. I believe the fuel window is about 6 laps here at Watkins Glen, and this is a 12-lap race. So we might have some guys make it on 1 stop and other guys make 2 stops in this event, or they might all come in early for their second stop and ensure that everybody has to come down twice. Hopefully that'll be the case so that we don't get a screwy finish like we have seen a lot in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series this season, unfortunately involving you most of the time. But either way, Nathan Faden is going to... Actually, it's Nathan Baird. We've got a lot of Nathans in this series. Nathan Baird is going to lead lap number 5. Colton Yeo trying to close in. It's 1.23 seconds for Nathan Baird right now here at Watkins Glen.
So we are dwindling down to the final number of races in the season, and one spotlight driver that I do want to put on is the 24 of Ryan Madden. He won the pole for this race. Right now he's running 4th after jamming on the brakes in the first turn, costing him a couple spots, but this is the exact race that he needs to capitalize on in the points. And like you said, he has 523 points, so he's 28 back of Sebastian Kukulon. I'm not sure where he's running at the moment, but if Madden wants to catch up to him in the points, now is pretty much the weekend for him to do that.
Sebastian Kukulon is deep in the field right now, currently running in the 28th position. Madden is 28 behind Kukulon. Madden currently runs 4th, so he would gain 24 positions, 24 points. It'd be a 4-point gap the way they're currently running, exiting this event. Our points leader, Alex Bonsignor, blew his engine at Chicagoland and now running 35th here at Watkins Glen. Definitely not the outing Alex Bonsignor wants to see, and he came into this race 30 points behind. Nick Smith, who has won an ARCA race here before at the Watkins Glen International, he is 26th. So, not going to really close in too much on Kukulon. Madden definitely the best guy of those top 5 in points in this race so far, as he currently runs in the 4th position. I think these guys might be coming down here. Taking a low line there, exiting the boot, and that might be signaling those guys coming down the pit lane. And it does. Nathan Baird, Colton Yeo, Micah Knapp, Ryan Madden. See if anybody stays out. It's Trey Wright who decides to stay out on the racetrack an extra lap here. But I do believe everybody is going to have to make another stop after this one. Alex, man, misjudged
89.
the entry to pit lane, and he spun his 89 around in doing so. That is a tough break for him. Had a decent run going, and he's now got some damage to that number 89 machine. Not many guys coming down, just the leaders. And I see only about 8 drivers down the pit lane at this point, so we'll have to see where these guys come out in relation to everybody else. I'd expect them to get the advantage because of those fresh tires. Nathan Baird's coming off, Micah Knapp's coming off. There's Ryan Madden. Madden's going to get it ahead of Micah Knapp. No, Micah Knapp's going to drive around him. And Nathan Baird with a decent-sized gap ahead of Micah Knapp coming off the pit lane. Here's the rest of the field. Battle for the lead currently going on between Trey Wright and the number 11 of Jamie Lee.
So with that first group that did come to pit road, again, that their best chance would be putting those fresh tires to good use and trying to make up time that way once these guys come down pit road. So hopefully that'll give them a little bit of advantage because the heat in the tires gives them more grip and more lap time, or better lap times, I should say. And Trey Wright and Jamie Lee and the rest of the pack trying to do the opposite of what those drivers did. See what kind of outcome they could get.
Of course, what these guys might be trying to do is stretch it to halfway so they can make it on just one stop in this race. So we'll have to see if that's the case as this race closes down. We're going to be halfway this time by in the Lake Effect Ice Cream 200. Jamie Lee trying to make a pass on Trey Wright. Wright's going to have to overshoot it just a little bit, and he will get out ahead of Jamie Lee as they come down the pit lane. So the 39, the 11, the 19, and I'd expect everybody else to come down now. A 6-lap fuel window here at Watkins Glen. They would not be able to make it this next lap if they stayed out. So everybody coming down. There's Nathan Baird in the 44 coming off the boot. He's only got 2 more corners to go until he hits the exit of pit lane, not the entrance. I mean, I need water right now. I'm like really thirsty and I don't have one with me right now, so it's a little bit hard for me to talk when my mouth is dry. But either way, we'll see where Trey Wright comes out in relation to Nathan Baird. I'd expect Baird to be cresting that hill very shortly. There's Jamie Lee coming off. Here's Trey Wright. I think Nathan Baird's going to get it. He's got all that speed entering turn number 1, and there he goes, driving by the 39. So coming in 1 lap early is all Nathan Baird needed, but he's still going to have to make another stop. The question is, will Trey Wright and Jamie Lee have to make another stop before the end of this race?
That was absolutely perfect execution by Nathan Baird and those set of drivers that did come in early. And Baird, he's got a bigger lead than ever before on the rest of the pack.
A very significant lead for Nathan Baird. And try to see what it is for him as they came across the line. It is about 3.5 seconds. So a 3.5 second lead for Nathan Baird ahead of Micah Knapp right now. So definitely a great run for Nathan Baird. He got around Colton Yo there as Yo overshot the corner. And that's going to open the door for the 44 to possibly get his first win of the season here in the Turkey Hill Series. We had a lot of different winners so far this season. Of course, Casey Hoffman, our last winner. He won his first career race last weekend at Chicagoland. And Nathan Baird won't be his first career victory on Napa Fan. He's won in the ARCA Series before. But going for his first Turkey Hill Series victory, if he can get it done in the number 44 here today. Micah Knapp second. Trey Wright was able to get it ahead of Tyson Conway and Ryan Madden right there. So it actually worked out decently well for Trey Wright. He gained a couple of positions by staying out. Ryan Madden is trying to take 5th away from Jamie Lee. I believe he's going to do it. Tyson Conway trying to find a way around Trey Wright in the number 78. He's going to put him on the outside exiting the final turn. And Conway is going to get away from the 39. And a pass there for Ryan Madden. He got into it with Trey Wright. They keep it together. Opportunity for Jamie Lee to drive by those guys. And that was a very edgy moment right there. Ryan Madden did not successfully make the pass on Trey Wright. Now Wright's going to try to get back to the inside of Madden. A great battle here between these two drivers. And Madden trying to get that outside lane to work through the S's. And I believe he is going to clear him exiting turn 2. And he will. How about that for the number 24, Ryan Madden? He does officially make the pass on Trey Wright.
It definitely didn't come with any, easiness at all. Like he definitely dodged a bullet with that incident coming out of the final corner, and with the 11, he pushed the 78 wide, and I think that kind of startled Ryan a little bit, and then that's what eventually led to the contact between him and Trey Wright. But How about Tyson Conway? He's a new player up in the top 5 in the number 78. Didn't mention him all day prior to the pit stops, and now he's made himself known here behind the 2 leaders, the 44 and the 2.
He is up to 3rd now. I don't know where he came from. He was outside the top 10 before the cycle began, so a fantastic job by his pit crew to get him in this position. And I'm wondering if he's got a strategy up his sleeve. We saw in the IndyCar race strategy play out tremendously. We might see it happen here at Watkins Glen once again with the Turkey Hill Series. And the 78 of Tyson Conway is going for his 2nd win of the season. Got the win at Iowa earlier on, back in May. And I don't know if he's got a shot at the championship. I think he's about 20th in points. Of course, you got the entire points list, so you might be able to tell me on that one. But Conway doing a good job here, trying to get his 2nd win of the season. He might get it on strategy. We'll just have to see how it all plays out. Nathan Baird still out front. I will say Micah Knapp is closing in the number 2. Actually, no, he isn't. 44 actually opened a gap that last lap, so he's not closing in. But Micah Knapp still has a shot at the victory. This next set of pit stops will definitely be crucial to him getting around the 44. But if Nathan Baird plays it cleanly in these last few laps, he gets a great last pit stop, he's going to be in victory lane here in the Lake Effect Ice Cream 200.
And as you mentioned, Tyson Conway, it turns out he's 19th in the points. Again, that win at Iowa is still very, very beneficial in its own right. And I'm kind of trying to look at the top 10, see what other kind of points contenders we have. Of course, there's Ryan Madden in the 24. Jamie Lee, he's just outside the top 10 in points and 11th. Angel Overa in the 21, the Atlanta winner, he's 13th. So not exactly where they were hoping to be, except for the 24 Ryan Madden in the points chase. Again, certain circumstances play out in your favor and against your favor, so it put them all scattered around the point standings. But still pretty entertaining what could come out of this, especially with guys like Kukulon and Nick Smith and Alex Bonsignor not having the best of days either. So, yeah, again, like I mentioned, Madden could be in the best shape out of anybody here.
We'll say Sebastian Kukulon has moved his way up to 20th. There he is. Pretty good day for him. There's Colton Yo. He was one of the dominant guys earlier on. He's 19th now. Did not work out too well for him. Alex Bonsignor in the 01 is right there. He has moved up to 29th. That's a little bit better than where he was earlier on. Nick Smith in the 8 is 39th, and he might have had a problem on the pit lane or something. He is the last car in the field. Actually, Alex Mann's the last car in the field. Everybody's still on the lead lap here, and we got a side-by-side battle between Jamie Lee and Tyson Conway. You know, the battle for third is intense, and it's very good here. Lee's trying to get around the 78. That inside lane is hard to work through the S's and through turn 1, and Conway will stay out ahead for the 3rd position.
So you got to remember, the time that Nathan Baird and Micah Knapp came to pit road, it was 1 lap previous to the rest of the field. So hopefully they don't burn up their fuel too quickly, so they have to make another pit stop. But there goes the 11 down to the inside of the 78 again through the carousel. That could be a very tedious section of the racetrack right there.
Jamie Lee will make the pass on Conway. No, Conway able to stay alongside. And they remain side by side for 3rd. They're 7 seconds behind Nathan Baird for the lead right now. But remember, with Jamie Lee and Trey Wright there, the first 2 guys to come off of those guys who came in later than everybody else. And this could actually be the battle for the win. Jamie Lee's ahead of the 39 right now, and Lee could make it to the end, but he's battling very hard. He's burning that fuel up trying to get around Tyson Conway, so I don't know if he's going to have a chance of making it to the end. Either way, Nathan Baird has had a clean race so far. He's been the dominant guy of the event, but like I said, the dominant guy of this event has never won before, because lots of times they get involved in an accident. We haven't really seen a crash fest race here today, but it has definitely been intense with the strategy, and intense with the racing as well. I mean, that battle for 3rd has been intense for quite some time after that cycle of pit stops.
You got that right, as well as we've seen our hefty share of drivers overshooting the final corner. Again, that proved to be very detrimental, especially to Colton Yo, who started in 2nd place in the 98, and he's just barely hanging on to a top 20. But there goes the 78 by the 11 once again. He's determined to get a good run out today, and especially if the 2 leaders have to pit, he could be in the catbird seat.
He definitely could. Conway, can't remember if he came down with the leaders, however, and I would think he would, considering the gap he gained on everybody else. Those fresh tires definitely playing into his favor, but he got around Jamie Lee again. And next time by, it's going to be the white flag in this race, and nobody came down that time. So there is a high chance that some of these guys are going to have to come down while others are going to be able to stay out to the end, which definitely creates for a very interesting scenario. You never know who's going to win it when that happens. But Nathan Baird, he's been able to save fuel. Same with Micah Knapp. I mean, Micah Knapp really can't catch up to the 44, so these guys have been able to save fuel, I think. I'm a little bit worried with Jamie Lee and Tyson Conway and all these guys. They've been battling very hard. I think they're burning up their gas, but these two guys, they haven't had to race hard. They've been able to save fuel during this run, so we'll have to see if Nathan Baird can hang on to the end without having to come down the pit lane. It's definitely going to get interesting as they come to the white flag here at Watkins Glen. Nathan Baird holds on. Micah Knapp in second. Conway is third. Jamie Lee in a great run for Ryan Madden. Trying to close up on that points lead. Sebastian Kukulon, the guy who's battling with him in the point standings, is currently 21st. So Kukulon will still remain the points leader at the end of the day. Will he be the champion in these last 5 races? We're going to have to find out as they go along, but we'll have to see what this race brings us, because here comes Nathan Baird down the pit lane, and Micah Knapp's going to stay out and take the white flag. Oh, I didn't expect this one at all. Conway's coming down as well. They could not make it on gas. Will Micah Knapp be able to make it on gas? That's the big question, because he came down the same lap as Nathan Baird. Will he run out of fuel before the end of this race? If he does, the battle's going to be here between Jamie Lee, Ryan Madden, and Angel Olvera. But Micah Knapp pulling away to the lead here at Watkins Glen.
Micah Knapp all by himself after the 44 Baird coming down. Who could have seen that coming right there? Micah Knapp, pretty much luck landed right into his lap as he negotiates the final lap around the Watkins Glen International with a sizable lead over the 11. Rolling through the carousel for the last time, and he just wishes that he could skip the boot entirely and just drive to victory, but no, he's got to negotiate through this section one more time. It's just got to be agonizing to go an extra mile around just in the boot itself. So he's certainly hoping the fuel tank holds on and he can cruise to victory here in the Lake Effect Ice Cream 200.
We'll have to see. Of course, Nathan Baird coming down to the white flag. That's something you're very used to in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, so I know you can definitely feel for Nathan Baird, the dominant guy of this race. Not going to get the victory here today. The big question is, will Micah Knapp have enough fuel? I think he will. It just does appear that he's going to be able to make it. I don't see any sputtering on this race car, so we'll have to see if he can hold on. Oh, he's a little slow there through that corner, and I think he might be out. He picked it back up. He picked it back up. One more corner for Micah Knapp. All he's got to do is stretch it to the start-finish line. And I think he is out of gas. He's overshooting the corner, almost spinning around. But Micah Knapp, first career Turkey Hill Series victory. It comes in the Lake Effect Ice Cream 200. Jamie Lee, Ryan Madden in third. Angel Olvera and Trey Wright, the top 5. Who would have thought we'd have seen that? I really did think Micah Knapp was running out of gas there. He slowed down tremendously off the boot, but he was able to cruise home to the victory. But I think he's going to run out of gas on the cooldown lap, so I don't think he's going to get back to the pit lane here. But Micah Knapp, the winner of the Lake Effect Ice Cream 200, his first win of the season, and it comes at the road course of Watkins Glen.
Man, on that last lap, I certainly thought that, or especially in the last 2 corners, I thought Micah Knapp's race was falling apart, as it did look like he could have potentially run out of gas, but he thankfully got the fuel back in the pickup and nearly threw it away there when he overshot the final turn, but thankfully he had enough of an edge over the 11 car to grab his first ever Turkey Hill Series win. I'm looking at the points, he's very deep, 32nd in the points, but at least this will give him a confidence booster going into the races ahead.
It definitely will. A great run for Micah Knapp. I mean, he was able to stay in that position, and he stretched the fuel quite a bit. 7 laps on 1 tank of gas, and he's actually still going. So, like I said, Nathan Baird and Micah Knapp, they had the opportunity to save. They had nobody around them. They were not racing hard, and Micah Knapp probably was saving when he was running second most of that time. during that run, and that's what got him the victory here at Watkins Glen. Jamie Lee, Ryan Madden, Angel Oliveira, Trey Wright. A great run for Cameron Gadju. It's been a tough season for him. He finishes 6th. Nathan Faden, Emmett Juckham, Ashlyn Boyd, and Adam Lewis, the top 10 here from the Watkins Glen International, and everybody finished on the lead lap in this race. We haven't seen that in a long time. But no major accidents here today, which was great, and it's great to see these guys keep it pretty calm on the racetrack, and everybody finishes. You know, that's nice. Nice to see that. But a lot of guys in the back not getting good runs, especially Nick Smith in the 8, who was second in the points coming into this race. He's probably not going to be second at the end of the day. Valentino rebounded decently well, finished 24th. Sebastian Cucalon ended up finishing 17th in this race. And, of course, Ryan Madden finished very well. Isaac Redmond finished 14th. He's up there as well in the points coming into this race, 5th. And Ryan Madden finishing 3rd. He's simply going to close in on Cucalon in the points today. So the points are going to be a lot tighter heading into Boston next weekend for the Case-It 250. We got Boston, we got Kansas, we got Auto Club, Phoenix, and Homestead. And that's it. I'm crowned champion at Homestead at the end of September for the Turkey Hill Series. But anyways, Jesse, thank you very much for joining me. I thank you guys very much for watching as well. Final thoughts in this race here at Watkins Glen, and what do you think we're going to see tomorrow morning for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series here?
Well, I think certainly a lot of our predictions were met with this Turkey Hill Series race. Again, guys being aggressive, especially on the last turn, and the pit strategy, and guys being able to just make it on one more stop, and some other guys, they weren't as fortunate, and they had to come down a second time, especially for the heartbreaking case of Nathan Baird. He was leading, almost coming to the white flag, and he had to give up the lead, and it gave some good guys in the deep portion of the points a good top 10 finish, like Cameron Gadju, as well as the 52 of Juckham. And again, for tomorrow's race, I'm certainly hoping that the 77 team can get a good result out of it and be on the fortunate end of things. But I certainly think some of the same kind of stuff we see today could happen here tomorrow in the Cup Series race.
Definitely, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow's Lake Effect Ice Cream 400K. Cap the Lake Effect Ice Cream Super Weekend here from the Watkins Glen International. And we've had a lot of great races so far here at Watkins Glen, and we're going to cap it off with a great one tomorrow morning as I head off on vacation to go see the IndyCar race in Pocono. Looking forward to seeing that in real life. That's going to be fun. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Mike and Knapp, your winner here at Watkins Glen, and here are the point standings for the Turkey Hill Series season number 4 after 23 races. On behalf of Jesse Turner, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys later.